Okay, let's go ahead and now dive into the waves of emotions, hope, and pride. Both emotions are of medium intensity. However, the effects of these emotions can still sway you from your base or your center. The effect from the intensity of waves from hope can feel adaptable and clear. However, the same intensity, if redirected towards waves of pride, can feel unpredictable and muddled. Hope leaves room for solutions. However, pride blinds the choice of options. The experience of understanding your inner self and believing in the world your soul chose for you definitely requires surfing waves of hope. While the intensity from waves of hope are mild, the clarity and adaptability that results from these waves can add up over a period of time, surely making a distinct difference. And unfortunately, the redirection of the same intensity towards waves of pride, while mild, can add up again over a period of time, leading, however, towards muddle and unpredictability. The risk of walking on the path of your inner self relies on the stable rise from waves of hope. However, the jagged rise from waves of pride will only doubt any risk for the inner self. The intensity from the waves of hope are strong enough to break through towards a solution, towards the next step in your life's journey. However, the redirection of this intensity towards waves of pride can add illusions of walls and layers, making it difficult to proceed, making it difficult to take the next step in your life's journey. The best example that I can think of an individual whose life story best embodies the effect of the intensity from waves of pride and hope is the story of Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart is an American businesswoman with a lifestyle brand and business holdings in publications, merchandise, and e-commerce. Within 5 years of running her publicly traded business venture, her short-sightedness caused her to take a shortcut that heavily cost her and her empire. She was found guilty of taking the shortcut, which is insiders trading, and was also caught lying to federal authorities about taking the shortcut, which was illegal to do. For this, she was sentenced to a women's correctional facility. Instead of hiding in shame, Stewart became an active inmate, taking up jobs and roles that facilitated the routine world of prison. This experience gave her humility and allowed her to reclaim her mogul status after completing her sentencing. Stewart started her business from her basement as a 20-some-year-old. And by the time she saw 50, she got to witness her business become a publicly traded company. It was while surfing waves of hope that Stewart could clearly vision the growth of her brand and adapt to the trimming and the shaping her brand needed. The redirection of the same intensity towards waves of pride caused her to make an unpredictable and muddled decision, costing her life's work a dear price. But of course, her optimism in herself grew while serving as a prison inmate, surfing waves of hope again that lifted her spirits and reinstilled stability in her. You may say her status and title as a self-made billionaire and CEO of a publicly traded company filled her with intensity from waves of pride. And this jagged rise gave plenty of opportunities to doubt herself and added illusions of failure to her newly claimed throne. The redirection of her intensity towards waves of hope allowed her brand to experience a breakthrough. Martha Stewart was able to change her public image from a criminal and an inmate to reclaiming her status in the business space as a fighter and an entrepreneur. Through Martha Stewart's story, I hope you can see that the intensity of our emotions can shape and define our life's work. Want more of Preach with Prak? How about you go ahead and subscribe to our Rise and Shine to Your Purpose newsletter, available only on preachwithprak.com. Here I'll provide you a weekly message to guide you throughout the week and check in with you with a wellness questionnaire. So, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe to Rise and Shine to Your Purpose newsletter, available only on preachwithprak.com. Finding our purpose is like finding a root on the ground. Initially, you are unable to tell what that root is meant to do. But when you give it the opportunity to grow, to bloom, when you give it the time, care, and attention, you will see what that root is meant to be all along.